Matt and Mikey hit the airwaves bright and early, sipping coffee while the world's still a little twirly. They've got a list of 5 that'll blow your mind. Tune in now, leave your worries behind. Saturday morning, Samoflange, talk topics that'll make you dance. Grab your headphones, take a chance. It's the best darn podcast in the land. From movies to snacks to the quirkiest trends, they debate and laugh till the show nearly ends. A little bit of chaos, a lot of good cheer. With Matt and Mikey, your weekend's clear. Saturday morning, Samoflange, talk topics that'll make you dance. Grab your headphones, take a chance. It's the best darn podcast in the land. From movies to snacks to the quirkiest trends, they debate and laugh till the show nearly ends. A little bit of chaos, a lot of good cheer. With Matt and Mikey, your weekend's clear. Saturday morning, Samoflange, talk topics that'll make you dance. Grab your headphones, take a chance. It's the best darn podcast in the land. Whether it's favorite dinosaurs or breakfast delights, their witty banter makes everything feel right. You'll laugh out loud at the friendly spouts. Matt and Mikey sure know where it's at. So set your alarm, don't you dare hit snooze. They've got opinions you just can't refuse. Saturday mornings have never been this grand, thanks to Matt and Mikey and the Clever brand.
Hi, folks, and welcome to another Saturday Morning Samoflange. I'm Matt.
And I'm Mikey.
So we have to say goodbye for the summer.
No, just kidding.
Darling, I know it's been grand. I'll send you all my love every day in a letter.
Yeah.
And seal it with a kiss.
Bring on the fall. Don't
Yeah.
let the door hit you on the butt, summer.
Wow.
I don't like the summer.
You're not a summer guy.
I'm not, but here's
Wait.
the deal. I used to be when I was a kid.
Oh, really? What were the top 5 things you wanted to do in the summer as a kid?
It's funny that you asked that, Matt, because that happens to be our topic for the day.
It does happen to be our topic. Because we have so many different experiences, I don't know if there'll be crossover here. Do you foresee crossover?
I mean, possibly one.
You possibly
but
one.
probably
Go with
not.
possibly one.
Because I think yours is going to be very specific memories.
Mine will be specific to maybe generic.
Mine's a little
To
bit
maybe
more-
generic, but yeah.
Well, let
So,
me go first.
please go
Let
first.
me jump right into this.
Please jump right in with both feet.
I'll say this. I think that the sun nowadays is not the same sun we had whenever we were growing up, which is the reason
It wasn't
why.
a yellow sun, it was a red sun?
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but
Right.
like I was outside all the time, and I liked that sort of thing. Nowadays, I'm just much more of like a winter guy.
Okay, we didn't feel the heat, but you know what? My kids, it was at 101? They wanted to go out and jump on the trampoline. I said, sure, go. They jumped for like 10 minutes and came right back in, but at least they thought, I can do this.
That's why it's a different,
It's a
sun.
different world.
It's a different world. So if we're looking at top 5 things I did as a kid,
Time out. Where's the? Wait, I'm sorry. We asked this question at work today. There was no such thing as a heat advisory when we were kids.
I mean, I never remember that.
Now we're getting heat advisories, extreme heat advisories.
Yeah.
But no, the advisory from us was you stay outside and you don't come home until
Right.
the lights go, until the straight light comes
Well,
out.
because of no social media and we didn't have computers in our pockets, then the only weather we really got was in the newspaper or on the news. And the weatherman would maybe show like, the little temperature gauge going up and it being hot. But there was
yeah,
no,
the
like,
line with the little
Yeah.
triangle flags. I never understood why they were triangles or anything.
If you remember Freddie Kilowatt from KNOE, the little cartoon
I didn't grow up
dude.
here.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't know
He
there
would
was a
tell
Freddie.
you-
What did
Yeah.
Freddie Kilowatt look like?
Freddie.
What's a kilowatt look like?
He was this
when he's
little
animated.
80s looking cartoon dude that looked like a South Park guy, probably.
No
He was very
way.
crudely drawn. I'll show you.
And
a
so what
picture.
did he do?
Uh,
He just told you it's hot.
Well,
it's cold.
The
It's
the
raining.
meteorologist would tell you everything. No, he never talked. And so the meteorologist would tell you the forecast and tell you what's going on with the weather, and then it would be like this little like 5 to 10 second clip of like, you know, almost like a whammy would be on like a Press Your Luck, where this little cartoon dude would come out, and if it was going to be sunny, then I just remember him looking up at the sun and being like, oh, and then like walking away. Or the one that always scared me was if it was going to be storming, then he would walk out there, and then all of a sudden the rain would come down on him, and a cloud would come by, and a little lightning bolt would like strike him in the butt, and he would be like, ah, and then he would run off. But it was these real little quick little things that
no way.
Yeah, as a kid I looked forward to it. I would watch the weather every night just to see what like Freddie would say.
Shut up.
Maybe that should be an honorable mention for what I did during the summer.
But wow. Okay, so number 5.
But my number
That's
5
interesting.
is I would play basketball because I love to be outside, and I shot a lot of basketball. You know, I'm not an athletic person.
How good were you as a kid?
I wasn't good. I mean,
Compared to the other kids in the neighborhood.
Compared to the other kids in the neighborhood, I was not athletic. I couldn't really jump very high. I was not physical with it.
White man can't jump.
White boys couldn't jump in Bastrop for sure. But I will say that I was a little bit better than average at just a jump shot. I seemed to be pretty good at like just shooting a free throw.
Did you
or
get
like
nothing
shooting.
but net, or were you Mr. Banksy?
No,
Nothing wrong with him.
I was glass every time. Like,
okay.
I wanted to bank off the glass every time.
My dad always told us you hit that square and it always goes in.
Yeah.
You bank your. Don't do this fancy nothing but net.
Now, I think my depth perception must have been off as a little kid, because if I come at it from the side, I would airball it every time. I had to go off the backboard. But if you give me the square and give me the backboard, then I could be okay.
You hit the square.
Yeah.
Now, did you have the one that you got the broomstick on and you adjusted how high it was?
We had some of those. Oh, yeah.
And did you lower it to the lowest and do your
it to
slam dunk?
We lowered it to dunk all the time.
If it was at 6 feet or 5, well, how low did it go? Was 6
like
the lowest?
7, I think, was probably the lowest.
No,
6 or 7,
6,
maybe.
because I think I could do it doing flat foot. But when you'd lower it to 6 feet and you do dunk contest, and then you'd raise it up high when y'all were playing. But was it up high the whole time? Ours was normal high.
It was normally high unless we were
going to do dunk contest.
Yeah. And I still couldn't really jump all that high, so it had to be on the lowest.
And I don't know what year the first Dream Team was. 95?
92.
92? Yeah. It was low.
Oh, yeah.
During 92, because we were the Dream Team.
Heck yeah.
And if anyone who chose to play as Michael Jordan that round had to play with his tongue out.
92, 93, 94, big years for basketball.
Big years. But that first Dream Team was honest, the Avengers of basketball. There's not a single person, there's not a single kid in America who was not playing basketball as the Dream Team that summer.
Yeah.
I mean, we never even knew about the All-Star game because there was a Dream Team.
It was revolutionary.
Yeah, it was.
So what's your number 5?
Okay, my number 5. Big, passionate guy. I love reading books. As a kid, I did read a lot of books. It involved library trips to get the book. You know, back in the day, you remember your mom always wanted you to read a book over the summer.
Oh, yeah.
And remember, Pizza Hut had the Book It program.
I remember that.
You read X amount of books, you get a free personal pan pizza.
Yeah.
Well, of course, it started with my hunger for my own personal pepperoni pizza.
Yum,
and
yum.
when you finally earned one, you felt like, dude, I earned this. This was all my hard work from reading C Spot Run and other great classics.
Yeah.
And I felt like Macaulay Culkin with mac and cheese, Or no, what was it? Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone, a fresh cheese pizza.
Yes.
All for me.
Yes.
Yeah. But I wanted pepperoni on mine. I was like, this is mine. This is what success tastes like. And my mom sat there and watched me beaming as I was eating my pizza and thinking, I earned this. You can't have any, Mom, because you didn't read what I did. You haven't been through what I have.
Mom.
But the thing is, though, even past the Book It program, because I don't think you got that many free pizzas, maybe 1 or 2. But after that, I'd keep reading because, lo and behold, I loved it. And there were some days, because, summer days would be lazy. You'd have a lazy day. My day would be waking up, reading a book, and burning through it the entire day. Like, I remember sitting up off the couch, pacing a little bit, stretching a little bit, laying down on the floor. And then when my back got tired, sitting back in the couch, and then laying back on the floor and going back and forth and just burning through books. 1, 2 days, big, thick ones. But I just loved reading. So reading was one of my big passions and definitely one of the top 5 things I love to do over the summer while you're slamming or slamming goals and hitting the 3-shot.
With my tongue out.
Did you hit the 3-shot?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I can
See,
hit the three okay.
I was inside. Cool. Now I do have a lot of outside stuff here. In fact, everything else is outside. Mm-hmm. So that was my one inside one.
Yeah, I have one inside and the rest outside.
All right.
My number 4 is another outside one. It would be the classic go swimming. Did not have a swimming pool, but we went to the city pool. There was a city pool in Bastrop. It was nice back then. Friends had swimming pools. Once again, not athletic, so I never really was the strongest swimmer, even though I did take swimming lessons. I can swim, but I was one of those kids that liked to jump off the diving board, go down the slide, like that whole thing, right? And when you're a kid, it's just almost like a rite of passage, being an adult now and the career that I have the opportunity to talk to a lot of teenagers, and it's interesting just how many teenagers don't go outside these days. Now, it is a different world because so much of it is inside, but even though I don't like the sun now and I don't like outside now, so I don't blame them, but at the same time, I'm like, man, you're really missing out on a good part of the summer.
You have a point, because as a culture, we were more outside.
100%.
Everyone would be outside, even during the heat, and especially during a pool, because a pool, you could always cool off by the pool.
Yeah.
Now, we never had a city pool. When we moved here, I believe the one on Forsyth was operational.
Right.
We didn't go to that one, though. But we didn't go to many pools and things. If someone had a pool, maybe once over the summer we'd go see them. My grandparents had neighbors who had a pool, and you better believe I was there as much as I could. We loved pools, but we very rarely got to be in them. If I did have a pool, like a city pool like that, growing up, I definitely would have been a part of that. So you went with a group of friends, I'm assuming?
My mom would take me up there.
Okay.
Now that's whenever
And then you made the friends, right?
Yeah, when I'm younger, right? When I'm in that 10, 11 range, right?
Wasn't it so wild how easy you could make friends back then?
Yeah.
Like you'd be meeting, what's your name? Mikey?
Yeah,
hey,
that's
Mikey,
it. That's
you
it.
play? And
That's it.
then suddenly they're your best friends. Okay, I'll see you later. Hey,
There was no vetting,
No.
You just did it.
No, you didn't, and you just made everyone was outgoing.
Yeah.
No one introvert, we didn't know the word. No, literally, no one knew that word.
Nope.
Because everyone was just you just made fast friends for that 1 hour.
Right.
You were together, but y'all were like best friend, having fun, laughing about it, and then you'd go off and live your own life after making this small connection. If you saw did you see repeats? I'm sure you did if you went to the pool a lot.
I mean, probably, yeah. I don't remember.
Well, then you'd see the repeat. Ryan,
That's
or what
right.
you get, Mikey, or what's your name again?
That is such a good 90s name, Ryan.
Well,
just pulled that one right out.
I am pulling Ryan, or Reed.
Oh,
Reed was
Reed.
one.
Yeah.
Reed is a 90s name down here.
Yeah.
I
knew a Reed.
Everyone knew a Reed.
Yeah.
Reed, what's up? What's your name again? Oh, yeah, man. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, what's going on? Because you remember them from the last time you were there.
Yeah.
For me, it was hanging around the ballparks and everything.
Yeah.
But, okay. Oh, dang it.
Dang it.
That should have been number 5 for me.
The swimming?
Now that I think about it, no. Playing of the baseball.
The ballpark.
The baseball league. Even though, I'll be honest, I didn't like it that much because that ball hit me more than I hit it. So never mind. Screw that baseball. Honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
All right. Number 4, back when I was a kid in Forest, Mississippi, we had something called a water war. It happened sometime in July because I remember it was the middle of the summer is when we do it. And I'd always tell people when we're going to do it. And that one weekend, and we just talked about this earlier, on Saturdays, your mom would push you out the door. You come back, you can eat your sandwich, and then you get out.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
get out and you go play all day until the street light comes on. So what we would do a water war. And that was water balloons, squirt pistols. Super soakers weren't there yet. There was one super soaker. Remember, a super soaker only had 3 sizes?
Right.
One person may have had a super soaker, but she had squirt guns. And, of course, there's one guy with the garden hose waiting for you to get in range. And then you're
with
throwing...
his thumb on the end to try to make it go further.
And your moms had provided you with buckets of water balloons. So when the water balloons were the first thing to go. And then you ran around, because there were a bunch of kids on the street, ran around shooting each other. Now, I remember, I had 2... by the way, there were the blue plastic swimming pools full of water so you could fill up.
Yes.
You could reload.
Yes.
After squirting someone. And if they were like out, they'd be like, I need to reload. But see, reloading, it was safe. You couldn't hit someone who was reloading.
Well, that was nice
because they
of
were
you.
standing still. But if you got near the garden hose person, you're in trouble. So you had to make sure you stayed off the lawn because he could maybe sprinkle you on the street, but he had to hit you with the hose. And there's that one guy. If you wanted to zoom in on him, which that was a daredevil stunt, but you could zoom in on him and get real quick and maybe grab his hose.
Grab his hose.
Yeah, before he wet you with it.
That one guy with the hose.
Before he wet you with it, and then shoot him, which was very bold. But then there's the kid who's soaking wet, so he doesn't care anyway.
No.
But I even had I had my two little plastic space gun ones because those were the cool. The smooth ones look like rocket ships, and then one tucked in my sock. You know the mini squirt gun?
Oh yeah.
I had a holdout in my sock.
Oh no.
Bulging sock, which I don't think I ever used, but just in case I could bring out the holdout
Right.
and still fire. And I thought having a holdout in your sock was so worth it.
And by the way, don't ever squirt that water in your mouth because it's going to be hotter than the surface of the sun itself.
Geez, to frag. It was some warm
And
water.
taste and
We
smell
could have
like
pissed in that.
plastic.
No, it tastes like plastic. But you know what? There was something about the water wars that was just so much fun because it was only once. We'd do it once in the summer. We planned it out. I said sometime in July, and that's it's next Saturday. Let's do it. And the whole neighborhood, all the kids, you'd be on bikes trying to do drive-by shots. Of course, we stopped that because it was easy to stop someone's bike and then everyone gang up on him. You don't want to gang up on a gang squirt where everyone's squirting you in the face.
No, you don't, especially when it's all them hose.
All them. Anyway, so water war, number 4. Number 3.
My number 3 is, this is going to sound weird. I feel like I've explained this maybe a little bit before on a previous podcast, but it's play in the ditch. Now, hear me out. So we didn't have a normal ditch. Like in my yard, there was one of those kind of like city, like bigger, deeper ditches that like water ran through.
Okay.
So I think probably, and then right by my house, there was my driveway, and probably, let's say 40 feet from my driveway was this little small, probably 15-foot bridge, 20-foot bridge that went over that. So it wasn't even like a huge bridge. It was just like really, if you wasn't paying any attention, it would just look like part of the road. But the ditch itself, you could get down in the ditch, and from, the bottom of the ditch to the top of my yard, which my yard went down into the ditch, would probably 10 or 12 feet. So this is like a good little ditch. Now, it wasn't a concrete ditch. It was just a real ditch. So I was in that ditch every day. Underneath the bridge, there was another bridge. I would walk down towards the apartments, just be in the bridge, go up and down. Here's the cool thing. If you took that bridge from my house, or took that ditch, and you were in the ditch, and you went one particular way, about halfway up the street, it would turn into a concrete ditch. So the sides and the bottom were all concrete. And so from there, you could run up and down it. You could ride your bike in it. So we took our bikes down in the ditch.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like if you've seen those movies out in L.A. where they have that big ditch, like a Terminator 2, the chase scene. It's not that wide, obviously, but it's that same type of just a concrete ditch.
I know the concrete. We had the concrete cylinder that went underneath the driveways.
Sure, yeah.
We had regular grass ditches though.
Yeah.
But I know what you're talking about with the concrete ditch.
Yeah, and we had those as well. Like that was like the house. We just happened to live in a spot to where like the city ditch kind of ran through. I was in it every day. We used to jump off of the bridge down into it and back up again over and over again.
Someone had the main road had a ditch and it had a big opening. It was about 4 feet tall.
Yes,
and we would crawl in there. But it was cool because you were going underneath the road into the other area. And that felt really cool.
Yeah.
It's like a secret passageway.
Here's what's crazy. I cannot stand snakes. I loathe snakes.
Were there snakes?
Well, that's just it. I played in that ditch every day of my life for years. Never once saw a snake. Maybe the 80s didn't have snakes.
Maybe they weren't invented
They
back
weren't invented
then.
until 1990.
If they were, they were on the back of people's jackets.
I just feel like I got lucky. I mean, because there had to have been cottonmouths and water moccasins and all kinds of things.
Well, we had the same thing too, but I didn't think about that.
It was a ditch,
We never really saw. I remember one time we saw coral snakes, non-poisonous ones, in our shed one time, but they were small. I remember seeing a grass snake once. thought it was a rubber snake because I had never seen a snake that big before, but I'd seen rubber snakes. You know, you still rubber snakes at the festivals all the time. I went to pick it up. I was like, someone left their rubber snake on the road. That snake took off. I want you to tell you that you know how at cartoon characters their legs start spinning, pinwheeling.
Yes.
That's what mine did. ran a block and a half back to my house, full blast, because I swore even though the snake had gone the opposite way, I thought it was coming after me.
Just chasing you.
And full-fledged went into my room, closed the door, closed it, hid under my bed, and waited because I knew that snake was coming after me. It had it's like Jaws the Revenge. It was coming for me.
It swam all the way from Massachusetts to Florida.
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Yeah, just to get you. I love that movie.
But we played in ditches a lot too. But you dig with a stick, and I don't know what, but there's this craving for ditches. Our action figures, we played in the cave.
Yeah,
when it was smaller ditches. That was a cave.
Yeah.
You're right though. We spent our time in ditches. We loved it. There's something comfortable about a ditch. You could lean over. You could lean next to it. Lean on the ditch.
Yeah.
There's your own little chair.
I don't know. Maybe it was like a womb-like or something. Maybe
we were easily entertained back then.
We were.
A ditch. I never look at a ditch and go, Oh, a long time ago, though, when my wife and I moved into our first house, there was a kid in a ditch pointing a stick at cars and throwing pine cones in the road. And my wife goes, what is he doing? I went, he's shooting at the cars in his own little barricade. And those pine cones, I promise you,
are grenades.
Those are grenades.
Yeah, they're hand grenades.
And I'm about to hop into the trenches with him and start fighting.
Yeah. Get down in that foxhole.
That made me feel awesome.
Yeah.
To see that.
Yeah.
I was like, well done. So it was like, if I could have been Morgan Freeman from at the end of any movie and given the nod, the little nod and the smile, like, that's a good man there. That I could see it, or maybe I should have saluted him. He would have saluted back and then shot me. I don't know. But anyway, that's a good one. My number 3, this is really crazy. I used to mow lawns in the summer. Now, I've told these stories before about me mowing lawns, but that was kind of how you made your first money. But me and my buddy did it, and even though I was tired and worn out, you had good stories. There was nothing better than taking that break, going to the quick stop and getting a Thirst Aid, or it wasn't a Gatorade. It was the rip-off version, the Thirst Aid from Thirst Shop or whatever. And it tastes just like a Gatorade, but it just felt so smooth going down. You drink, feels so good. Sitting in the car. You never had the AC on. You had the windows rolled down back in the summer, and you'd roll with the windows rolled down. It was really awesome. But for me, mowing lawns, definitely fun and definitely my number 3. All right, so are you at number 3 now?
I'm at number 2.
You're at number 2. We're already at number 2. Go for number 2.
Already at number 2. Who does number 2 work for?
Oh, that's here.
Well, my number 2 is riding my bike. I tell you, I love my bike like nobody's business. I mean, a bike in the 80s and the 90s was it.
If you've seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure, you know what we mean.
That was
Our
my
bike
life.
meant everything to you.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that now I'm so particular about all my stuff, but you know what I did with that bike? When I got home, didn't even use the kickstand. You just pull up and you just drop it.
You drop it. You drop it like it's hot.
And that freaking handlebar would just go right down into the dirt and the mud, and the next day, if it rained and you pick it up, and if you don't have the rubber thing on the end, then the metal has the dirt all in it. But anyway, I loved riding my bike up and down and around anywhere I could go on adventures, in the trails, in the woods, trying out ramps, this, that, and the other. Like, it just felt so good going down a hill, feeling that breeze in your face on a hot summer day. Give me my bike.
Let me ask you a question with bikes. Got to ask because you said it here. Did you do the whole no hands and biking and looking all cool too?
Yes. Oh,
yes. You thought you were super cool.
Loved it. Now, I could not really do tricks or anything.
No, I couldn't.
Like that excellent BMX movie, Rad. No, I could not do that, but I could.
You could pop a wheelie by really barely lifting it up.
I could pop a wheelie. There was a point in my life when I could probably ride that wheelie for about 3 seconds. I felt really good. And I could, stand up, the whole stand up, no hands.
Oh, you stood up on the seat?
I stood up on the seat.
Whoa, I couldn't do that.
No. I stood up on the seat with hands.
I
need to make that clear.
I'm
not Pee Wee Herman.
I
stood up on the seat
I know
with
Pee-wee.
hands, but then also sitting on the seat with no hands. Love that.
Oh, yeah. But I thought it was the coolest when I was just biking with no
Yeah.
hands on the handlebars. I just thought that was just the coolest.
Yeah,
of the cool.
you know, you sit on the seat
Like-
backwards and try to like, you know, put your arms behind you
Like-
and try to like pedal. just
Like I
anything.
knew there was some parent look out the window going, look at that kid riding with no, riding with no hands. That's cool. I could just see that now.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, okay, so did you have a bell? I think on one of mine I may have had a bell.
I don't remember. I feel
That you
like
could ring
I
with
feel
your
like
thumb.
I feel like I didn't.
Okay. Did you have I had the backwards pedal stop brake and I had the pump brake, but I had the
Both.
backward.
Yeah. Well, the earlier ones
Were the
early-
backward
were
stop.
back stops. Yeah. It wasn't until like probably in my like 11, 12, 13 where you get the
My
handle.
13, 14, 15s, I had the
Yeah.
hand brakes.
But definitely the early ones were just the back.
Yeah. Do you remember any of your bikes?
No,
I do.
I really don't know.
I do. I remember my favorite one. My Pee Wee bike was neon green. Remember early 90s, neon was
Love it,
cool,
yes.
but neon green was cooler. I had some neon green batting gloves that I bought by wearing with my neon green bike to be even cooler because, you know, a guy with batting gloves on that's riding a bike is even more bad.
And not using those gloves to
for
steer.
baseball, yeah, and not
So he can show the gloves
Yes.
to everybody.
And show the gloves off or do the X-Men look. Okay, but then also it had a water bottle, neon green water bottle. I could squeeze my water bottle in there and slide it back. It was a slide.
Yeah.
hip.
Oh, yeah.
And then a little, in the crossbar there, a pocket. You could unzip it and put little stuff in it. What would
Like
you
your
put in
Big
there?
League Chew.
Who knew? Oh, Big League Chew. But then
Your
you
candy
had a little bit,
cigarettes.
and it got stolen, and I
Oh,
boo-hooed.
no.
And it got stolen on the oddest night. Like the one night my dad stayed up with company till 2 a.m, and then he had to wake up at 6 to get us up. And by 6 a.m, the bike was gone. So between 2 and 6
It was
in
that
the morning,
snake.
It was
That
a
snake-
snake. He
that
came
snake
back
got for you.
He followed me all the way from Mississippi to Louisiana
Yeah.
and said, "That son, I'm
He
gonna
did.
take his."
Well,
I'm
he
gonna
was
take his
coming
bike.
for you, but then when he got there, he thought, you know what would be better?
If I take
If
this
it-
bike,
Yeah, because it'll like screw him up for life. But if I bite him, he'll heal in like 2 days. So he took
that's
the.
exactly what happened. All right, so number one for you.
No, that was my number 2.
Oh, that was your number two.
So you're number 2.
No, number two was. Oh, that was your number two. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you still have 2
I was
left.
I'm sorry. My number 2 is summer camp. I always loved summer camp.
yeah.
That was my fun.
I never went.
I believe I've told a lot of summer camp stories on this podcast before. If not, I'll definitely do it another time. But I'm pretty sure I did. But summer camp was always super fun. Hijinks, best friends. You had pen pals afterwards, but back when pen and paper was a thing. And then later on, it was email address. Because that was the big thing, the electronic mail address. But for me, it was the highlight of my teenage years. And I'm still friends with some of those people today.
Yeah.
Today, I will never see them again, but we are still friends. Talk to this person every day.
It's
just
going to
about.
be similar things to you're talking about with the swimming pool, right? You just
Yeah.
meet people and
Yeah.
you're just having fun. You're not worried about what you have and what you don't have or what your family
It's
does.
a week
You're just-
that goes by like that, and you have great memories you'll keep until you forget about them. But I have a lot of those good memories that I keep today. So, numero uno, go.
Here's my one inside one because as much
go for
as
it.
like all the outside stuff was a huge part of my life, play Nintendo. And I specifically
That's a
say
good one. That's a good
Nintendo
one.
because
Yeah.
I was
NES.
I was a Nintendo console guy. You know, I did own the Atari, but you know, when I got the Nintendo in like probably 86, so I was 7. And yeah, so you know, didn't have a Sega. Did get a Super Nintendo in '91. Then I did get a Genesis in like 92 or 93. And at that point I was like 13, 14. So I would say, you know, most of my formative years there, it was Nintendo. And the biggest difference is, and I think I've said this too before, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself, but you know, even though I did play a lot of Nintendo, it wasn't like today where like my entire day was in front of a TV. No, it was I'm gonna play an hour or two and then I go outside and I ride my bike or I play in the ditch. Maybe I do that for an hour or two. I come back in, I play some Nintendo. But that was always my favorite. None of these other things, my bike, the ditch, trampoline, swimming, whatever I did during the summer, couldn't hold a candle to just how much I loved video games. And it could be Saturday morning, Samoflange, and when I'm watching my cartoons, let me get a little Mega Man in, you know,
Yeah.
let me beat some Mario, let me, you know, that's just near and dear to my heart.
I get that. My parents were a little bit more strict, and there was 1 hour of Nintendo on the weekdays after school, and then none hardly on the weekends, unless it was a rainy day. Then you could get away with
That's
an
probably
hour or
good
two.
though, actually.
But yeah, we
'Cause
were
my
more
parents
outside,
didn't have
yeah.
any restrictions.
They had restrictions when it came to the Nintendo, but I lots of great memories. Lots of great
And
memories.
if I remember correctly,
fights.
you had like an Intellivision, right? Because you talk about
Yes.
having
yes.
an Intellivision.
We talked about my top 5 in television games
Yeah.
decades ago on one of the most earliest Samoflanges, me,
Yeah.
you, and CJ.
Yeah.
My numero. Well, you were talking about Atari, and I was given Intellivision.
That's right.
That's
That's
what it was. My numero uno. We had some baseball. It was backyard baseball. We had a league of 6 teams. I will be honest, 2 of those teams maybe not legit. One was all the littler kids, like the 6-year-olds and stuff. They weren't the 8, 9, 10-year-olds.
Were
like
they
us.
juicing?
Well,
Orange
we
juicing?
killed them, but they were the 5th team, and the 6th team was a Girl Scout troop that would meet every so often at my neighbor's house, and we challenged them to baseball. And of course, we'd kill the girls all the time, but the girls just wanted to play. Her mom was a scoutmaster and thought, oh, that's a nice exercise. So she agreed to host the game or whatnot. But I had my own baseball field in my backyard. Some other people did. We played other kids from other neighborhoods, and we had a whole summer schedule that lasted 1 month probably. But we did that. And when I left and came back like a year later, they were still doing the backyard baseball league. It felt like the
Wow.
Sandlot. So when they made the Sandlot, I was like, wow, this is a movie about me.
This is a documentary
But,
about
yeah.
my childhood.
But my backyard baseball memories would be number 1. But anyway, so there you go. There it is for the summer. Folks, let us know what were your top 5 summer memories. What'd you do over the summer back when you were a kid? And we'll see you next time on
Saturday
Morning.
Oh, Saturday morning memories. They're so good. I love thinking about waking up and eating cereal and then going outside and playing in the ditch and trying to find Matt and his friend with all the hose and then looking at him and going, hey, man, what's up with that Samoflange?
You'd ask me, what's in that squirt gun? Water? And I'd say, no, piss.